We hate most in others what we dislike about ourselves. What's a harsh truth you have for the opposite sex? If you do online dating and you're very overweight and you skillfully hide that fact in your photos, you're setting yourself up for disappointment and awkwardness. Ask a friend who's good with a camera to take a photo of you where you look good but also like yourself. Of course that goes for both sexes. Don't misrepresent yourself. Do you really want your date to think that's not even close to what I saw in those photos? There's a lot of things we don't understand about you, and need to have explained to us. Please don't assume we should already know them from being alive. And this goes both ways. Where a girl wants to vent or cry, a guy wants to do something else and distract himself. My girlfriend wants to cry on my shoulder and talk about her feelings, and I wanted to go play video games or go walk the dog. The last thing I want to do is talk about what's upsetting me. If I do, I'll come to you. Don't probe me about it. If you're constantly going to play hard to get, we're eventually going to give up. There was a good bit of advice on this in The Perks of Being a Wallflower. Charlie's dad says to him one night, "Son, sometimes women will say yes when they want you to keep going, some will say no when they want you to keep going. Don't bother with the latter, they're more trouble than they're worth. Do not wait until I am in bed and ready for sleep before starting an emotionally intense conversation. It will not go well." This applies to both. It's a harsh truth because it's such a bad thing to do. The person trying to sleep will usually say something nasty and mean because they're not really awake, and because they're being trapped and pounced on when they're the most vulnerable. Seriously, people, don't do this. It's destructive to your relationship and to you. I shouldn't be able to smell you before I see you. Whether this is perfume, Axe or straight up stank. Tone it down or take a GD bath. Especially if you work in a closed room with other people. I work at a damn Pizza Hut and I have a couple co-workers who don't get this. One is a chubby 20-year-old kid, who wears a metric ton of cologne, and the other is a middle-aged woman who wears so much perfume. I realized that the weird smell in my car was from leftover perfume on the pizza bags, just from them being in her car. I'm not always going to know when to make the next move. Why can't you do it if you know, since I don't? Moreover, I'm extremely patient. I can wait for you to be ready. But when you say you're ready, please be ready. I seriously want to go mini golfing with you. Don't toy with me like that. Your ex doesn't want to get back together. I've only had 2 girlfriends and the last broke up with me, and my second I broke up with. I won't go into details but it is ultimately for the best. If one person doesn't want the relationship to continue, why do you want it to? If it even does, the relationship between the two of you will be extremely unhealthy and likely lead to abuse. Heartbreak sucks, but the best for both people is to talk it out and be honest with each other. Having closure when a relationship ends makes it hurt far less than it needs to. Writing "There's no way I could write a short summary of myself in a dating profile" does not make you appear a mysterious, worldly polymath. It shows that you either are not willing to make the effort, or are incapable of analyzing and distilling the essence of a complex subject. Just cause you make him hard doesn't mean you're all that special. A guy can get hard from, as I've heard someone on this site say, a stiff breeze and eye contact. And being good in bed does not mean just getting a guy off. We all get off pretty regularly. Like, we've been doing that since age 13, earlier for some. Want to know what your guy really likes in bed? Ask him. Guys need to do this for their partners, too. Everyone's different in bed and assuming you're doing what they want without ever asking is a sure way to frustrate both parties in a short time. I can help you with, but can't fix your insecurities. Only you can do that. I had a girlfriend, who was really shy, and uncomfortable showing herself, and being naked especially. I loved her with all my heart, giving her tons of compliments, and massive amounts of affection every day. I made her feel valued, appreciated, wanted. Therefore, after some time, she was totally comfortable going out in public, started wearing clothes she liked instead of clothing she could hide in, and she could be naked with me without being embarrassed. This was a result of love, affection and a lot of time, but even after we broke up, she's a completely changed person, and I think I actually helped her overcome her insecurities, even though I wasn't actively trying to fix it. But the actual change comes from within. A lot of guys have lower physical standards for a casual hookup than they do for a relationship. There are women I know who would alter their dating behaviors drastically if they understood this. They wouldn't hook up with guys in hopes of getting into a relationship with them. It's easier to get attention from guys if you not so subtly put sex on the table, but the fallacy is that this attention necessarily indicates possible interest in a relationship. I'm not saying that putting out too early turns guys off, just that statistically, more guys will want to have sex with you than want to date you seriously. So if a one-night stand is going to leave you feeling burned, you should wait a few dates. Girls, as much as you adore your boyfriend or husband, you both need to have a social life apart from each other. Don't give up your friends for your relationship, and don't force him to bail on his buddies because you don't want to be lonely. My friend's wife works nights and weekends fairly often. And although he only said this once, when he was drunk and annoyed at her, he often won't go out because she gets mad when he has too much fun and she can't. Girls, your boobs are alright, so stop obsessing over how small they are. Confidence in what you got is more appealing than overall breast size. Lots of guys and girls prefer the look of smaller boobs anyway. And at the end of the day, the size of the boobs does not make the woman. Woman replies, I kind of wish I didn't have big boobs. I wish all of me was smaller and that I had those tiny perky ones. Issue is, even if I lose 15 ibs now, they'll lose volume and not be as awesome. Small ones will probably age a lot better and they're firm and awesome. Okay, so my boobs are fantastic, but I worry about 15 years, or pounds, down the road. Not all guys are the same. You just keep chasing the same guys. I had a friend, about 5 years younger than me, telling me she was sick of being pushed around, but that she was only attracted to bad boys. I told her pretty plainly that being used will eventually get old, that bad boys will never think you're special, except for that one night. And that it was pretty naive to acknowledge that she's only attracted to men who treat her poorly, and yet expect them not to treat her poorly because she's, what? Better than other girls? F-boys, give me an inch and they'll put the whole thing in. Ladies, 99% guys aren't like the guys in the movies. We aren't great at picking up subtle cues. We probably aren't going to go stand by a lake and look out while we build up the courage to race to the airport and stop your flight, or object to your wedding and take you away to a power ballad. We get drunk and complain to our friends and play video games. We miss you, but this isn't The Notebook or a rom-com. Negging. One time I was negged and had no idea. I didn't realize until literally 5 or 6 months later, and it also brought on the bonus happy realization that I'm really comfortable with who I am. This guy at a Halloween party was like, I like your nose. My nose is slightly curved downwards, but not super cartoony or anything, and I was like, thank you. I like my nose too, in a really flattered way because I genuinely felt flattered. And throughout the night he was like, am I the only one who likes your nose? And I was like, no, lots of people like my nose. And he was like, really? They like curved noses? And without a flinch of doubt I was enthusiastically like, yeah. No one has told me they hate it and I like it. Throughout the night he referred to me as Nose Girl and I called him Face Guy, and had a great Halloween completely oblivious to this guy's secret frustration. Months later my friend was like, yeah, I hate that guy who tried to neg you all Halloween. He does that every girl he wants, and I was like, wait, what? And had a good laugh. For those who don't know, negging is a seduction technique whereby a person makes a deliberate backhanded compliment or otherwise insulting remark to another person in order to undermine his or her confidence in a way that gains approval. The term was coined and prescribed by the seduction community. Ladies, trying to act cutesy and flirty isn't going to get me to give you a discount on your items. It wouldn't work even if I wasn't gay. Some of the younger ladies I work with do the cutesy girly thing when asking me for stuff. It is super annoying. I will help you because it's my job and I like to try to do it well. I help everyone regardless of cutesiness. It actually works against you if you're dealing with me. Listen, I have been around for a few decades. Flirting with me when you just so happen to need a favor, a drink, help moving, whatever only insults my intelligence. If you want surprise fun time, take your showers regularly. Want oral? Wash your junk and wipe your a-hole properly too. I don't care what BuzzFeed says, shower every day that you poop. By the way, you're supposed to poop every day. I realize that showering and deodorant is a newish thing, but it's seriously so important if you want to be sexually active. Bathe yourselves, people. Goes for both genders. Catching the snake is not cheating. Fantasies and dreams are not cheating. And for God's sakes, just because you had a dream where I fricked your mom in the butt doesn't mean that I actually did it or would even want to. On the same subject, watching adult films is not cheating. I've never understood why my friends get mad about their boyfriends watching porn. I tend to watch adult movies with my boyfriends. You gotta mix it up sometimes. I never understood why other women got so worked up when they catch their man jerking it to adult videos. It's not cheating. Single moms, don't say my kid is my world. My kid is my world is usually code for, I have deep-seated insecurities about how people view me as a parent. I feel the need to constantly remind everyone of how strong my bond with my child is before they have a chance to form their own opinions. Girls, you aren't a princess any more than I am a prince. I understand if you say it as a joke, but not when you actually believe it. You don't have to pretend to be a princess to be treated like one. There are plenty of people out there willing to treat you like a human being that deserves respect and will do nice things for you. This also goes both ways. Your wife or girlfriend is not your mother. An adult man should expect to act like an adult man, and not expect to be treated like a helpless boy, when he enters into an adult relationship. He should learn basic adult skills, and not expect that his wife will happily continue to humor basic immaturity. There are lots of men who assume that they do not, and should not, have to learn basic skills because they expect that their wife will automatically take them on as a condition of the relationship, as if the man is still a child. For example, I knew an almost middle-aged man who had never, even once in his life, bought clothes for himself, because his mother did it for him well into adulthood, and then he made his wife do it once he got married. Men, I don't care about your genitals, so please stop sending me photos of them unless I have asked for one. I don't get how any guy thinks this is attractive. Plus, you know that your dick is now part of the internet forever, right? It's on a server somewhere, forever. The jackals at the NSA are probably looking at it too. Just stop it, have some respect. Out of all the harsh truths here, this one is the most brutal. Women, we can see the little mustache hairs you grow above your upper lip. I'm so sorry. I start noticing it on my girlfriend's face. I didn't mention anything about it, since we are meeting each other like after a year. She said she wants to go get it removed. I subtly mentioned I noticed it. She was mortified. You don't want to come to the golf course with me and my friends. You will not have fun, and it's likened to me going shopping with you and your girlfriends. Don't be that girl who brings her boyfriend or husband to spot A, and I won't be that guy who brings his girlfriend or wife on the golf course. Take a hard look in the mirror and be honest with yourself. If you say no fat people, it's not attractive, while you're toting a spare tire, you're not helping your cause. If you complain about members of the opposite sex for not being presentable, bathed, combed hair, nice clothes, while you look like you just woke up, fix it. If you complain your previous significant other had nothing of substance to talk about, yet you are staring at your iPhone whenever you're in a social situation, or worse, being online is your social situation, reevaluate. We hate most in others what we dislike about ourselves. Don't be a hypocrite. He does not know you're into him. You should probably tell him. If he flips out because girls shouldn't make the first move, well, we need these guys to start having less success anyway. Girls, sometimes we seriously don't know what we did. Also, sometimes when you ask what you're thinking about and we say nothing, that's the end of that talk. It's possible for a male to be thinking about nothing. I can't fathom how I have to go through this same exact conversation with every single girl I date and not a single one of them understands what I mean or has heard about it before. My wife brought home a book once that summed up everything wrong with almost every relationship I've had and half I've seen. I don't remember the name of the book, but it's about a young black woman post-Civil War, and her personal and sexual awakening. She married a successful man she wasn't into because they made a handsome couple. Her mom drops by. I'll paraphrase in the style of the author. Mom, why is you sitting while your water ain't drawn and your stove wood ain't cut? Katie, oh, Mama, Eugene treats me so good, I hardly have to lift a finger around here. He comes home from the store and he'll cut the wood and haul the water, and sometimes he even do the cooking. Mom, and does you love him good at night? Katie shrugs. Mom, long pause, you is the dumbest child God ever give me to raise. Katie, why, what do you mean, Mama? Mom, that man should be kissing your mouth, and he kissin' your foot. And a man stay down and kiss your foot long enough, you can't help but look down on him. But, come someday, he gonna look up, and see you looking down on him, and you ain't never gonna have another happy day. Thanks for listening to Radio TTS. Hit the subscribe button and activate the notification bell for more videos. Click the right box for the Radio TTS playlist and let us know what the next video should be about.